What's up, guys? This is Aaron Heap Disc Golf, and today I want to talk about form changes, my experience with form changes, some of my best tips I can give for people who are going through form changes, and why you would go through form changes, things like that. So, for starters, I'll kind of go through a little bit of my experience right now. Uh, so, it seems every year when the season ends, I just take a couple weeks to play some rounds, reflect on my season, just hang out with friends, take it easy for a little bit. That's been what I've been doing lately until maybe a couple weeks ago. I really started getting into a routine of working on the things that I have had issues with after reflecting, and that was my forehand, my form with my forehand, as well as my backhand form. That was the biggest one, is I just don't see a lot of the potential that I could have out of my backhand if I was just working on it a little more. I wasn't quite seeing that this year, so I've been doing a lot of form breakdown. I've been working really hard for hours almost every day on it. So yeah, I'll go into that. Why I am working on my form this year. I'm not quite hitting the distances I want to see consistently. Sometimes I'll hit big distances. Sometimes I just am a noodle, and I don't know why. It's nothing to do with me one day just being strong, me another day just not. It's an inconsistency, and I've also seen it with hitting lines and stuff. Some days I'll just be dead accurate, hitting every fairway, literally like 100% fairway hits, and then the next I'll be like 60 at most, and that's just not what we want to see when we're going into playing professionally, playing for money. You really don't want to be missing your lines. You don't want to be the guy that's throwing the shortest drives. So, uh, what I decided to do was I I have been re-looking at some resources to working on my backhand form, which I'll link in the description as well. What's been helping me, and I just go out to the field and I will just do standstills, not just like standing still where both my feet are still through my shot, but I'll do like uh, I'll hit my brace foot with my backswing and then follow through, and I'll just keep doing that for a while until that feels comfortable, and I'll gradually add a step to it or something, because I like to work from the ground up with my form. When I'm having issues with form, I don't try to do too many fixes during the season unless I have a good gap, but I don't want to start working on form in the season that much because it just throws things out of whack. So usually off season I'll start working on it, and I'm just gonna slowly work on the footwork. I'll spend a whole day just working on the brace, backswing, follow through, and get that timing down, and then I'll start adding a step to it or something. And that's one thing that's been giving me the most. That's been probably giving me the most quick and effortless changes to my form, and making it a lot more obvious that I'm able to change my form. It just takes a lot of work. So, biggest tip I would have when you're going out and trying to work on form is just know it's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a week. It's probably going to take a month or two before you start to see big changes, but they will happen if you stick to it. I can promise you that. And it feels really good when it does start to show that it's working. But another thing is, it's not going to be pretty for a while. When you start working on your form and you start making big changes or even little changes, you start playing rounds and stuff, you're going to be missing lines. You're not going to be throwing as far as you want. Things are going to feel weird if you are sticking to the form that you are working on, but it's just natural. That's natural to have those issues because that is showing that you are making a change. And if these changes are obviously going in the right direction, which if you watch other people's forums, you break it down and then watch your own form, then which I'll also link in the description some good videos that I use for comparing form. If your form is starting to look more like these top level pros, you're doing something right. And you have to trust that you're doing something right, even if it doesn't look, or even if it doesn't show on paper that you're scoring better. That doesn't mean that you're not getting better. You have to go into form changes with a really positive mindset, and it's really hard to do that when you don't see results immediately. And I think that's where a lot of people start to lose their love for the game of golf or disc golf. And uh, that's one thing that I think sets me apart from a lot of people is when I start to see myself decline. Uh, I know that the skill is there, and I know it's not going to go away, and I know that my ability to play good golf is there, and that's not going to go away. It's just I'm changing something, and I'm working to better myself. So it's going to take a while for me to get to my potential, but it's going to happen eventually because I keep working towards it. And I think that's the biggest takeaway I have from any type of form changes is it's going to take a while, but it's going to be well worth it. So you have to stay in it with a positive mindset, and you have to work hard, and you have to really you have to force yourself to do things you don't want to do. I don't want to stand in a field and just throw standstills for 3-4 hours, especially at my home course. I like to use the field out there a lot because it gives me gauges and easy spots to give myself lines and targets. But then my friends will pull up and they'll ask if I want to play around, and it's really, really hard to say no. I'm going to continue working on my field work. Thanks, though. But you got to do that sometimes. And I mean, that's another reason why I would say if you have a nice field to just go out to where you're not on a disc golf course, but you can like set up some cones or small targets, then that's a great idea. I would do that. I just don't have very many places out here that I'm able to do that. So uh, stick to the field at my home course. Yeah, aside from that, pretty much I wouldn't go into making big changes in your form if you are playing like a season of competitive disc golf. You are probably going to have issues playing consistently good golf if you are working on a form change. So I would stray away from that. If you're playing okay, uh, if your skill is where you need it to be to play this year of golf or whatever, then like say you're 2/3 of the way through your season, sure you want to play better, but if I would play better from a golf mindset than a form mindset because you could have meh form, but you can still play a really good round of golf as long as you're playing smart. And especially if you're in an advanced field, it's gonna be or like advanced or AM field of any sort, and it's gonna be a lot more about playing smart golf, not running crazy shots than it is just throwing far or throwing dead accurate. So I would say just keep playing golf, play smart, start to look at the game of golf more as a game of playing for less strokes than trying to attack and get birdies, because sometimes pars get the job done. So yeah, I think that's about all I have on this subject. And again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. And time for the disc of the day. Mako 3, Champ Mako 3, Star Mako 3. I like both of them. Champ Mako 3 is a little more durable, and these ones seem to get a little more like actual fade at the end, even though they're not supposed to have fade. I definitely feel like there's more of like a one fade on the Champ Mako 3s that I've thrown, but especially if you're working on your form. A Mako 3 is a great disc to work on your form with, or even just a Mako. It's a stable, but not understable, not overstable, mid-range, at least new. They can definitely beat to understable, but they're a great just straight flying disc. If you if you're throwing with solid form, you should be able to throw this, and for it to you should be able to control it to make the disc just fly dead straight on a rope. So I would say if you're working on your form changes, a Mako 3 is not a bad disc to use as a reference to see if you are throwing solid shots. Again, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. That would help me a lot. And yeah, keep throwing some discs. Thanks.